You call that an apology? Part 2. Well, I guess it's a step in the right direction, but I'm afraid it's not good enough. As I previously explained in past posts, there are certain steps you must take in order to apologize, and the most important factor is understanding why and feeling in your heart that you are sorry. Offering forgiveness and compassion means absolutely nothing when you do not understand the harm you have caused to others. And I'm not speaking about only myself. Let's break it down once more. A true apology has these 6 good things. Number 1, a true apology needs to be sincere. It should not be a quick way to get out of a predicament or a fight. I totally get it. You don't like me talking about you publicly and want me to stop. I've talked about owning your stuff many times. This means really processing what you have both done, both feeling bad for it, admitting what you have done was wrong, that you both lied and took it too far. I'm not after a quick off-the-cuff admission and I hope I stop. I don't need lip service. Number 2, a true apology does not include the word but. I'm sorry, but automatically cancels out an apology and nearly always introduces a criticism or excuse. So, you finally admit I am not Nuya. Hallelujah. We do have a problem with this, however. First of all, the person you're accusing now is not Nuya, so don't go there. Actually, Nuya Lewesi has recently told me her name and did give me permission to post about it, but it's not my place to do so, and it sounds like you don't actually know this person, but I digress. So, a true apology doesn't contain the word but. So when you say, Lucia isn't Nuya, I apologize thinking she was. Good job coping her, Nuya. Though I do know she gave a lot of false information. And maybe we shouldn't have said something about those people, but Nuya made it impossible for us to defend ourselves. First of all, there is no maybe about it. Second, the slander and attacks happened before Nuya, and Erin has done it for years. No excuses. You've attacked me on the basis I was Nuya for about 8 months and said really awful things and made up a lot of stories, and how did I react? I remained quiet. Let's be honest. All Nuya did was to post videos you both made public for the world to see. You're just embarrassed and angry that we all have a record of your behavior and attacks on people. I will let you have this though. Some of the comments made on the channel were a little crude and mean, but you can't control what people say. How you react to it is what shows what you're made of. Third, Nuya didn't copy me. We're nothing alike. Stop making excuses. I did not give out false information. You both assumed so much. Everyone can tell you I only spoke when approached privately, and even then, I was compassionate and forgiving toward you. And when I finally started to speak up, because your lies were getting out of hand, I've always given evidence to back up my words. So I'm sorry. This is not a sincere apology from someone who wants us to believe has changed. This is damage control. From someone who wants to be left alone and is manipulating her words to what I've been saying, thinking is all I want to hear. They thought I'll be satisfied and stop my disclosure of truth. Sorry. Try again, as I don't buy it for one instant. However, It's a step in the right direction, but you have a long way to go still. Number 3. A true apology keeps the focus on your actions and not on the other person's response. For example, "I'm sorry that you felt hurt by what I said at the party last night" is not an apology. Try instead, "I'm sorry about what I said at the party last night. It was insensitive and uncalled for." Own your behavior and apologize for it. Period. Own your behavior and apologize. Period. Yes, this is where you need to be. Stop making excuses, blaming all you said, done onto others. No one forced you to say the words that came out of your mouth. No one made you pick up the phone and call the DOD or employers and get people fired and investigated. It wasn't my fault or New Year's fault. It was the reason, however, New Year started and why people are so angry at you and some are so afraid of your volatility. Speaking for myself, you made huge lies about me. I've pointed this out with my very first video. Trying to convince people I'm Illuminati, that my house was bought by them because I've harmed you. My wedding was a ritual Illuminati wedding. My honeymoon cruise was Illuminati driven as I went to Moscow to do ceremonies on Eve. Oh my God, the live you made in a bathtub throwing up saying I was doing ceremonies on you and you were calling me out to stop harming you? The whole Robert Lester is my brother and he abused me. This was the last straw that made me speak up. You started to get out of hand. How you forget. I could go on, but you get me, right? You've done and said so much to so many. Own it. If you are truly changed and remorseful and want to move forward for the better, you have to admit to what you've done in the past and show how truly sorry you are. Otherwise, no one will believe you. This is how it starts. "I am so sorry for all the horrible things we said and done too," and list the names and each thing you've done to them. What we said about name was a lie. There's no excuse for our behavior. No one is to blame but ourselves. Get it? Number 4. A true apology doesn't get caught up in who is to blame and who started it. Maybe you're only 14% to blame and the other person provoked you. It can still help to simply say, "I'm sorry for my part in this." Self-explanatory, isn't it? This is you. It's New Year's fault. Always someone else's fault. Lucia made us believe she was New Year with her silence. I didn't do it. It was my clone, or it was Odom. It's the Illuminati, the Masons, my family, and so on and so forth. Please put a sock in it. Apply the brakes. It doesn't matter if your excuses are real or based on fantasy, if they are justified or not. It doesn't matter if someone did actually have a bigger part in it. If you feel bad and are sorry, apologize for what you personally done. Number 5. A true apology does not demand or request forgiveness. Of course, you hope that the other person will forgive you, but a true apology does not ask the other person to do anything, not even to forgive. Also, a serious hurt or betrayal requires repair work over time and is never healed simply by saying, "I'm sorry." Exactly. Like I've said, it's all about the end goal. If what you're after is simply a quiet life with us no longer talking about you, think again. You should want to apologize for your own spirit so that you are able to heal by lifting the heavy burden you're carrying. What you two have done requires time for it to heal for everybody you come across and hurt, slandered, and try to control. Why do you think we have people speaking up that knew Erin from before the Camelot interview? Man, I'm still trying to make sense of her behaviour, which spans over decades. It's nothing new. And when you joined her circus, it got a lot worse. And because you don't own up to it and do the right thing, it doesn't go away. The harsh reality, however, is the fact that it won't go away overnight. It might take years, and you both have to deal with it like we all had to do. I've actually forgiven you both a long time ago. I know you need help and you can't help yourself behaving the way you've done. And let's face it, a leopard can't change its spots. But you're not a leopard, and maybe with the right help, you can change. Let's face it, you've done this for so long, and the fact you're simply not facing what you've done and accepting your consequences, it's what tells us you haven't changed. Reading, listening to my words and saying what you believe we want to hear, portraying a calm persona when you have your 10 minutes of public attention does not mean you've changed. I believe people can change, but for someone like you both, it takes a lot of work and a huge effort. And all you've shown is that you're a master of manipulating people, situations, and information, and many more are coming forth to tell their story. You're trying to do this still with your latest videos. You're very transparent to someone who knows you well, knows your behavioral pattern. I know you want silence, peace, and you will try any angle to make it happen. Like making sure Erin doesn't freak out and go on a tirade, so you're taking the calm approach and trying to appeal to my heart with your false apology. My heart is not heavy or troubled, by the way, and the fact you think so shows me how you have not processed anything I've said or you're done. I am sure my audience will tell you exactly how I feel and what kind of person I am. Sooner or later, they all reach out to me and see, hear, and feel the real me, because I'm honest and transparent in everything I do and say. Number 6. A true apology requires that you do your best to avoid a repeat performance. Obviously, it doesn't help to apologize with a grand flourish and then continue the very behavior you're apologizing for. Passionate expressions of remorse are empty if you don't put sincere effort into ensuring that there is no repeat performance. You both repeat the same pattern for so long, over and over again. You always go gun blazing first, befriend, control, become suspicious, accuse, attack, slander, move forward, repeat. Or in your case, blame Odom for your bad and inappropriate behavior. How about listening and respecting what the other person is saying to you and stopping the paranoia, the control, to the point of telling people who they can be friends with, meaning, if you want to be our friend, you can't be friends with Lucia. Why? Because you know I tell the truth, and I am kind, and if they realize so, they start doubting you. A true apology, it's very simple, but hard, especially for someone with an inflated ego and pride such as yourselves. You've taken the first step, whether for the right or wrong reason. Now you have to build on it. You still have a long way to go. Also, you both need to make an apology, and it cannot be an off-the-cuff hidden apology somewhere in a video that can be missed. No way, my old chum. that counts for nothing. My suggestion is that you make a list of names and write next to it what you've done, and then explain why you are sorry and why you regret saying it, doing it, followed by all you've lied about.